to show you is actually a cookbook. So Easy, So Good by Kylie Sakida. And I don't usually look at cookbooks or use them or buy them, but this one I have been wanting to look at for a long time. I have seen some of her recipes on Instagram and they feel very doable and easy. I'll show you kind of an example. Let's see here. I thought I make these all the time. These soy garlic marinated eggs. I'm not a big fan of eggs. There's that thunder. I'm not a big fan of eggs, but if I marinate them, I like them a lot better. There's also this like souffle egg. That just looked so interesting and good. Doesn't that look good? I love feta and hot honey. There's the marinated eggs that I make. Mine never look like that on the inside. Oh, here's the Chinese steamed eggs. So they come out looking kind of like flan, in my opinion. I don't know how similar that recipe is. Like in the ways that you would prepare it, not in the ingredients. So I got this one. The next one that I got, I actually read all the way. And it is, you can't see this part, but it's Live and Let Chai by Bree Baker. It's a cozy mystery. You know how I feel about cozy mysteries. And if I'm ever in a reading slump, then I will pick up a cozy mystery and it will help me. So I read this one. It's a series and I have the second one as well. No Good Tea Goes Unpunished. So this one right here is about a local councilman. I don't remember his name. Doesn't say his name. He's just grumpy, you know, a curmudgeon. He has kind of like an argument with her, not really. They just don't really get along. He shows up dead outside of her tea shop with one of her glasses, and so obviously she's a suspect, and it just goes through the process to find out who did it. Now this is set in a small beach town in North Carolina called Charm, and so it's a very good, I think, summer cozy mystery read. The next one is the same series by Bree Baker. I'm actually halfway through this one. So this one, she has a childhood friend. Oh, she lives in like this big Victorian house. The bottom is a tea shop where she sells like Southern style iced teas. And the top is where she lives. So So this is the Enchanted Greenhouse. Can you hear it's never been opened? You can hear the pages separating. I hope that was worth not reading the book yet. So basically what this one is about, we've read the one about the spell shop. I've read that one. Very good. This one is about a librarian that they briefly mention. The spell shop has like a spider plant that is able to like walk and talk. He's sentient. And this one is about the librarian that created him that way, who they think is like petrified and turned into wood or something like that. Yes, she is turned into wood because she did a spell she wasn't supposed to. Then one day she wakes up on a deserted island and there's just greenhouses everywhere. So obviously she's not wooden anymore, I don't think. There's one other person on the island and he is a grumpy gardener. She obviously doesn't want to go home because of what happened to her there. But it is just an interesting, sounds very interesting. We'll see if it's as good as the spell shop. There's a sentient rose in this one instead of a spider plant. I think all the pages have pretty much separated now. Okay, this last one that I physically have is a middle grade, I think, The Vanderbakers of 141st Street. I'm not 100% sure what this one is about, but there's a map which I enjoy. I think they get kicked out of their apartment and they have to show the landlord how awesome they are. So, don't really know what it's about, but I've heard it recommended for children, so I wanted to take a look at it to see if anybody in my life would want to read it that is also a child. And then the other two that I had to return. The first one is A Record of a Spaceborne Few. I feel like I've talked about that one before. It is a sequel, or like a standalone sequel, to A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which is one of my favorite books of all time. And then the other one is the Crescent Moon series. I'll leave it in the description. I'm going to check that one back out, or in the comments, probably not in the description. I'm going to check that one back out because I didn't get to read it, but it was a very interesting story.